Says we're live.
Yes.
My name is Mandy and I'm with COVID Recovery Iowa. And today I have with me Anna, who's also with COVID Recovery Iowa. And this is our book and activity series. And we're going to be talking about the book, Where Are You From? By Jaime Kim, and talking about an activity to go with that book to kind of accentuate, I guess, or expand on what you can learn and gain from that book. But a little bit about COVID Recovery Iowa before we get started. It is a FEMA-funded grant that came about because the pandemic and the derecho were declared disasters. And in the event of a disaster, then all states can apply for funding for this extra emotional support that's oftentimes needed in the event of a disaster. So there's lots of other states across the US that have similar grants going on. To supplement, it's a supplement. This free counseling support is a supplement to all the existing services that Iowa already has that are fantastic, but sometimes feeling a little stressed themselves, especially during this pandemic. There's been a lot of changes. So that's what we're here for. Anna and I are on the child and family team. And so one of the ways we thought it would be nice to provide support is some activities to go with these books that really focus on addressing well-being, a family's well-being, a child's well-being, emotional health. And the book today is Where Are You From? And I happen to have the hard copy in front of me today. And Anna can show you how to access it on our YouTube channel. You can do that now if you want
to. Okay.
So, and the reason we put them on the YouTube channel is because we run a couple of Zoom support groups that are virtual. And so it's really nice for seeing the books and being able to read the words easier when they're in this format. So that's been helpful to our counselors. Yeah.
And so if you just go to COVID Recovery Iowa on YouTube and you can click on our videos, all of our videos will pop up. And then it's one of the more recent ones. And so here it is. You click on it. It's a pretty short one. And then you go down here and you click show more. And that's where you'll get the activity for it.
So this book, it covers a lot of things that I think are really important right now and always, but gives some good food for thought on ways that we can improve our cultural sensitivity, maybe is a good way to put it. Just improve our interactions with others so they're always more positive, on a more positive note. So the book's about this little girl that at school gets asked a lot where she's from. And I think one of her responses is, I'm from here, I'm from right now, I'm from in this moment. Like, what are you asking me? And so she's struggling with how to answer that question. And so she goes home to her grandpa and asks him for some help because grandpa knows everything, I think is what she says. And so she asks him for, where am I from? And he gives some pretty cool answers as far as just how we're all connected. We have a lot of similarities. We all just come from the earth and each other. And it's just it's a cool book. In the end, he says, trying to help her clarify it even more, you come from a place of love, you come from right here, is how he ends it, because I think it is a struggle to answer that question for a lot of people.
Yeah, I definitely can relate. Throughout my life, I think a lot of people have asked me where I'm from, and it's always I'm like, do they want to know like my ethnicity? Do they want to hear like, oh, I'm from a really small town in Iowa? And so I've just had to navigate how I answer, which I do just say I'm from a small town in Iowa because that's where I grew up. And then sometimes they will follow up with like, oh, like, is that where you were born? Or maybe like, what's your ethnicity? Because that's sometimes what they actually just want to know.
Mhm. So maybe sometimes a question with a question, asking them, what is
Mhm.
it that you want to know?
Right.
Or does
Yeah.
that sound feisty?
I think it depends how you say it or and your relationship with the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can think of, I mean, I'm trying to think if anybody's ever even asked me that. You know what? I proudly say quite often, I was born and raised in South Dakota. So I don't think I get that question a lot. Where am I from? But now that I'm thinking about it, so growing up in South Dakota, I had an accent different from when I went to college, which was just across the border into Iowa. And I had enough of one of those Dakota Northern accents that I had people ask me where I was from there. So I guess I have been asked that question, and it was based on because of the way I talked. Um, and was it a feel good question? Probably not, because I thought they're noticing something that's different. And did that make me feel good? No, not really. I was able to laugh it off and stuff, but yeah. So how can we improve on that? I think we talked about it in other Facebook lives, but as far as getting to know a person and thinking before you ask the question, what is it that you're interested in? Why are you interested in that in this person? Um, I just think there's a lot more connection that can happen before you ask that question.
Yeah,
What
I agree. It's kind of like if you really want to know about them, figuring out like who they are first as a person, you know, actually getting to know like their interests or what similarities you guys have, and building that connection and that relationship. And then, you know, sometimes it even does just come up. Like sometimes if I'm getting to know somebody, they might not even ask where about my history, but I'll feel comfortable and I'll share about like, oh, like I was born in South Korea and then I was adopted when I was a baby. And so, I mean, sometimes it will just get brought up if that person feels like sharing.
if you've connected enough, it comes up naturally, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's the way it should work. And I think that this book talks, I mentioned already, the connection part, just about how we are so similar in a lot of ways. And if you and I mean, and there's differences too, but I mean, that's fantastic too. But just, I think that grandpa was trying to help that little girl find the similarities and ways to connect with her classmates first and make that a priority. And the difficult question that she felt was difficult, of where you are from is kind of from is a abstract notion, kind of, at least in this book. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So then the activity to go with it. So here's a question, and I can see it today, so that's great. What is your thought on the best way to connect with someone? What to ask or talk about? Yeah, how do we start up a conversation? That's a great question. You want to get to know someone, and you don't want to make the wrong move. I mean, you, you hope that connecting with people gets easier as you get older, but I mean, if you're looking to help your kids connect with people, how do they start up that conversation? What are some good questions to ask? And you know what? We'll screw up, we'll mess up. I mean, that's just a fact of life. And so learn from it, embrace the mess up, don't ignore it. Don't, I mean, you might feel a little embarrassed by it, but the worst thing would be to ignore it and not learn something from it, right? So
Mhm.
anyway, so what if we were to play out a scenario of like interacting with somebody you didn't know, something I mean, just introduce yourself. How about start with some facts about yourself?
Because I
Hey,
think when you share and are open with somebody, sometimes that other person will match your level of how much you're sharing, what you're talking about. And so sometimes it can depend what information you share about yourself is what you'll receive back. And so I don't know, one thing that I always like talking about that I can connect with people like is food. Like what kind of food do you like to eat? What's your favorite? Or hobbies or interests? Um, and just looking for those things. Because a lot of the times people like to talk about things that they're really interested in or things that they really like. And so,
Yeah. So this is a perfect segue into our activity for the day, because the activity that goes with this book is a self-portrait. And Anna and I were joking about the doing examples for this book, and we better not leave this for last minute because this is gonna take some thought. So art is a great way to communicate with somebody, to learn something about each other, and a self-portrait, it can be pretty telling. It doesn't have to be an exact replica of yourself. It doesn't have to be a, show your drawing skills kind of portrait. Certainly can be. This is what I feel like I look like, and and go that route. And so this morning I went the route of a collage, which I don't even think I put that as an example on our YouTube channel for the activity, but you could do a collage, which is like found objects. Today I did magazine collage. So cut out little parts of a magazine pictures and put them together to make a complete picture. So here's my self-portrait, which I think is telling and going to give you all some information if I explain it here. So I like gardening. So I made flowers, my hair, and I like the color orange. And so I saw these flowers and I thought, well, that hair is too short. I got longer hair, right? So I have orange flowers from making my hair longer. I even like vegetable gardening. So I thought, oh, a tomato, that's good for my nose. And I have 3 kids, and 2 girls and a boy. So they're kind of, I don't know, either my earrings or my ears and my mouth. And then I like the outdoors. So the more pictures I could include of that, the better. And then I thought I have to include my husband on here somewhere. And just this morning, he made the coffee, and I told him, I really like it when you make the coffee. Not that it tastes any better, but I like it when he does it and I don't have to do it. So self-portrait, I just told you a whole lot of information about myself using this artwork
yeah,
here. So
maybe yours is amazing.
it's great. Well, I had a good morning. I'm telling you, I was feeling the creative pieces were flowing. So yeah, I'm proud of this
Yeah.
one. So thank you.
Mine, I also did this morning because my life is crazy with school. And so honestly, on the back of mine, it's a piece of paper that I found, a school paper. And on the back
Love it.
is
Perfect.
empty. And so I just use a black pen and I just did my face as best as I could. And I did a smile because I think that's one thing about me is I really like laughing and smiling and just thinking positively. And so I included a smile.
Humor is good medicine for the soul, Anna. So that's awesome. That's good. And I learned something about you, that humor is important to you, and that you can draw quite well. That does look like you. So nice job. So and the other aspect of this self-portrait task to go with this book is to frame it then. And because we're all worth framing, so don't forget that we're all worth being here. We're all important, and sometimes things can look different when we reframe them. So you can think of that as like a cognitive reframe, or you can think of it as actually framing your artwork, and especially your own self-portrait, and you can hang it on the wall. So I just take a piece of paper, whatever color you got, and fold it in half and cut out, part of it so that it opens up like that. And then voila, it fits nicely over a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper anyway, but you could make it whatever size you want with whatever paper you have. But instantly can boost our self-esteem and take our artwork to a different level and you know, something that you maybe weren't very happy with, frame it. It can make it look so much more positive and appealing to us. So there's all kinds of things we could reframe in our life, all the positives and the negatives going on in the world. It's easy to get angry and upset about all kinds of things, and but good to take a pause and try and reframe it and think of it from somebody else's perspective. It's a good skill for our brains to be able to utilize. So reframing, it's important. What else, Anna? I guess we're over at 15 minutes, and I know you have a busy life and a busy schedule, but
I just saw one more comment, and that said, great self-portraits. And then Misty says, thank you, ladies. The portraits were great. I'll have my little girl listen to the book tonight. She will love it.
and we'll put our examples on Padlet, so you can check those out. We have a virtual art gallery where we can put, anybody can post their artwork that they're willing to share, and we put examples on there for people to check out too. So
Yeah. And I'll put the link to the book in the comments.
yep, good, awesome. There are no more questions. We'll say goodbye.
Bye.